Are you dealing with new or worsening Lyme symptoms and you're wondering if it's a Lyme flare or a Herx reaction? My name is Ryan Kearns. Lyme disease changed my life 10 years ago when I got a very serious case. I was able to heal all naturally, and then I was able to go on and help thousands of others. And I'm absolutely obsessed with the human body, holistic healing, and Lyme disease in general. Today I'll show you how to tell the difference between a flare and a Herx reaction, what each one means, and what you can do about it to get better faster. Today, I'll show you how to tell the difference between a flare and a Herx reaction, what each one is, and how to support your body through this process. This video is for educational purposes only. This is not medical advice. Always talk to your healthcare practitioner about your specific situation. So what is a Lyme flare? A Lyme flare is when underlying Lyme symptoms suddenly resurface or intensify. Usually a Lyme flare is triggered from things on the outside, things like stress, overexertion, weather, immune changes, and hormone shifts can drastically affect the way your body operates, and it can immediately cause a flare in Lyme disease symptoms. Here's the key difference. A Lyme flare comes from the disease itself, not from treatment of the disease. Herx reaction is short for Jarisch Herxheimer reaction. It's just a guy's name. But what it is a temporary worsening of Lyme symptoms caused by treatment. A Herx reaction occurs when antibiotics or herbal antimicrobials kill off Lyme bacteria, and those bacteria release toxins. Those toxins put the body under a lot of stress, which leads to a symptom flare-up. So it's technically not the treatment itself that's causing the Herx reaction. It's the microbes dying off and releasing toxins that cause the Herx reaction. And there's things we can do to stop that from happening. Herx reactions are usually tied to starting, changing, or increasing your treatment. So here's 4 key differences between a Herx reaction and a Lyme flare-up. Number 1, timing and triggers. A Herx reaction happens after treatment begins or after dosing increases. It often appears within a few hours to a few days. A flare happens even when treatment has stayed the same. It's often triggered by stress or hormones or menstruation or overexertion or weather or diet or illness or injury. Anything stressing out the body. Usually a flare will develop more gradually over time. It starts off small and gets worse as it goes along. And again, a Herx can happen all at once, and that's why they can be so overwhelming and difficult to deal with. But I'll tell you how to deal with them later. The number 2 difference is the symptom pattern. Herx reactions often have a sudden, intense spike of symptoms. Head pressure, chills, feverish feeling, worsening pain, anxiety, and neurological symptoms can actually intensify. People often refer to Herx as saying, "It feels like I've been hit by a truck." With a flare, symptoms look like your usual Lyme symptoms, but just a little bit worse. It's usually a more predictable pattern if once you understand your triggers and what causes your flare-ups, you can avoid them, you can understand them, and you can see the patterns happen. And a flare is often less extreme than a Herx. It's not a huge, intense spike in symptoms. It's more like just a gradual increase that you notice over time. The number 3 difference is duration, or the amount of time it takes. A Herx reaction lasts hours to days. Occasionally it can happen for weeks if your detox pathways are overloaded, but we'll talk about that later. A flare can last days to weeks. Usually a flare doesn't resolve quickly on its own without reducing stressors or supporting the immune system in some way. I'll tell you how to do that later too. And the 4th and final difference is body cues, or what it feels like in your body. With a Herx reaction, you might have detox symptoms like nausea, headaches, sweating, body ache, irritability, chemical sensitivity. Whereas with a flare, it feels more like the disease itself is being very active. It often includes the typical signs you think of when you think of Lyme: and fatigue, joint pain, cognitive issues, dizziness, sensitivity to light or other stimuli. Okay, so which one are you experiencing? Here's 5 questions to ask yourself to know for sure which one it is. Number 1, did I recently change or start treatment? If you did, it could likely be a Herx. Number 2, was I stressed, sick, hurt, or overdoing it? If the answer is yes, it's likely a Lyme flare. Number 3, did the symptoms hit hard and fast? If yes, it's probably a Herx. Number 4, are symptoms similar to my usual Lyme disease patterns? If yes, it's more likely a flare. And number 5, does detox help quickly? When I do the steps in the detoxification process, does it feel better fast? And if so, then it's more likely a Herx reaction. So here's exactly what to do to support your body through a Herx reaction so you know for sure if it's a Herx or if it's a flare. Sometimes just supporting your body as if it's a Herx can help either way, but I'll also tell you what to do for a flare. So here's what to do for a Herx reaction. First, slow down or temporarily reduce treatment. Of course, use your provider's guidance here, but it's not going to help if you're seeing a huge, intense spike in symptoms from Lyme microbe die-off. You sometimes need to back off a little bit and then go hard again later. Once you detox the body, you'll be able to get right back into treatment. This isn't a step backwards, it's a step forward, because you're going to remove all those dead microbes and toxins out of your body, or try your best to. Next, we want to support detox pathways so that we can remove those dead microbes out of the body. This means hydration, electrolytes, binders, like activated charcoal or chlorella, for example. Epsom salt baths, dry brushing, massage, lymph massage. There's so much to detox. We actually have a free 21-day detox plan that comes to our subscribers who subscribe to the Lyme Wars Herb Recovery Kit. If you don't know what that is, just go to lymewars.com and check it out. Gentle movement, deep breathing, and rest can help the nervous system calm down so that detox happens more easily and freely as well. Finally, anti-inflammatory approaches. Now, your provider might give you a steroid, which you may or may not want to take. I personally don't like taking those things, but you can eat anti-inflammatory foods and avoid foods that are inflammatory. Plus, using herbs that support inflammation and following the other detox tips that I just shared will help with the inflammation and the overall symptoms that happen from a Herx reaction. So what should you do if it's a Lyme flare and not a Herx reaction? First, prioritize rest and reduce physical and mental load. It's usually those stressors that are causing the symptoms to flare up in the first place. Reducing stress and supporting the nervous system through meditation or deep breath work, or just getting in a dark room alone, maybe even taking a nap in the middle of the day. These simple things allow you to breathe, calm, relax energy throughout your body, and your nervous system then is able to repair and rest and rebuild itself, and allow your immune system to take over and do what it does best. Next, we want to support the immune system in whatever way we can. And one of the easiest, gentlest ways to do that, and you do want to be gentle with this when you're going through a flare-up, is to use antimicrobial herbs. I personally use 3 herbs more than anything else during my Lyme recovery journey, and now I share those with the world at lymewars.com. They're the best way to gently support your immune system and help the body fight back in the war against Lyme. Next, make sure you're sleeping enough and hydrating a lot. Just like the Herx reaction, we do want to make sure we're very hydrated, using electrolytes, and sleeping a normal amount of time every night. Usually at least 8 hours of sleep is great. If you have trouble in the sleep department, that's actually really common with Lyme disease, and we have plenty of tips that can help you there. Just drop a comment below and we'll help you. And finally, address any obvious triggers that are causing this flare-up. Whether it's overexertion or a recent injury or illness, or maybe it's something more emotional like a relationship problem or some kind of dark conversation that you need to have with another individual that's being unsaid and it's leaving you feel unsettled and in a state of fight or flight mode all the time. Once you have that hard conversation, that will lift the pressure and the stress out of your life, that will help your body get through this Lyme flare as well. So just address whatever trigger you think is causing this in the first place. So most of these things are holistic and easy to do on your own, but when should you seek medical help? If you're getting severe neurological symptoms, like you can't even remember your name or where you are, then you should definitely seek medical help. If you have a high fever, seek medical help. If you have new symptoms you've never had before, seek medical help. If you have flares or herxes that just aren't improving and are not going away after taking as many steps as you could in this video, seek medical help. And anytime something feels off, you might as well seek medical help. It's always better to be safe than sorry. But remember, you are responsible for your body, and that's a good thing. That's a power, not a loss. So often I see people abdicate responsibility to an outside source like a doctor and say, you have to get me better, you have to take care of me. But in reality, you are in charge of your health. Nobody else is going to care about your health as much as you, and you have the power to change habits in your life. You have the power to heal your body holistically. Nobody knows you better than you. You are not an idiot. Never let a doctor or anybody else treat you like you are. Lyme is very real. It's not in your head. Support your body with the steps in this video and you should come out on top.